What is good? I'm actually recording a video in a semi-decent amount of time compared to the last one. I kind of wish I wasn't recording this exact video that I am doing right now because I was trying to give Behavior in Dead by Daylight the benefit of the doubt that this Halloween event that was coming up was going to be something a little different, a little fresh. I remember last year making a video saying that I didn't really find the Halloween event interesting, and unfortunately this year's event is basically the exact same event. They've done very little changes, and unfortunately that goes for the title. I think the Haunted by Daylight 2025 event isn't very interesting, and given my last video and the stuff I talked about in that last video, I think this event feels even worse than it did last year, which, given how I felt about last year's one, I'm very surprised. There's a lot I want to say about it. There's a lot I want to talk about. I just kind of want to get into some thoughts about it, and I don't really enjoy making double negative videos at all. I don't really like the idea of trying to talk constantly negative, but I want to be able to make content about the game, and right now, unfortunately, I just feel that this is the kind of headspace I'm in when it comes to Dead by Daylight. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that do enjoy these Halloween events and have enjoyed last year's one and this year's one, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but for me personally, I just don't enjoy it, and I feel like, if anything, I think this version of the event is actually worse than last year. Also, before we do fully delve into talking about it, I appreciate everybody that checked out the last video and brought up conversations. And secondly, the gameplay that you will see in the background of this video are two games that I just played randomly and said, hey, I actually had a good game, I'll save them. Not once do I go into the void in either of these games, because right now, which I'll get into it, there is no point for a killer to go into the void and pick up the ability or run around in there, because you do not have the time, you do not have any reason to be in there. But yeah, we'll relax for a minute. We will get into it in just a second. But before that, we are going to have to talk about just the era of DBD that we're in right now. So, we'll get into the event and kind of why I'm a bit annoyed with it, why I didn't enjoy it last year, and honestly, this year, it's the exact same. It's the exact same. If you're on a survivor side, you sit on the gen, you get little orbs, little essence, that's the word. We get essence, you go into the void if you want, you get your fog crystal, you can now put the fog crystal on the gen and it'll do 20%, but there's nothing refreshing about the gameplay at all. There's nothing new, there's nothing that feels like, oh, hey, we brought this in this year so that you guys will have something different to do on both sides. On Killer, as I said at the start, and as you will see in the gameplay in the back, you have no real reason to go into the void. You're going to lose your gen pressure entirely because you're in a whole other area. You can't use, if you're using pain res, you can't get a pain res hook in the void, so what's the point in even going in there? Your ability where the spirit dashes out in a straight line is so hit and miss that it's genuinely just not worth the time to go in and actually do. So I just don't see why they, especially this year, given how poor things have been since after the FNAF chapter, how we've been on months and months and months of a downward spiral, and people are getting so annoyed with it, and we're waiting on this Operation Health. I was kind of in the mindset of, hey, Halloween event is going to come. We're going to end up with something that's at least a moment for the entire community to be able to just gather themselves up, play the anniversary, get the new rewards, which honestly, the rewards this season for this new event, they're so just lackluster. They're just not worth it anymore. I feel like even the visuals, they changed from what was it, the entirely blue to a bit of orange, and wow, okay, cool. Oh, it's not all just blue now. We've got some art, you know what I mean? Are we gonna get excited about them just adding a bit of a different color into the menu and be like, nah, this event is the best? I can't. I think the gameplay loop of the event, obviously Dead by Daylight has its own just gameplay loop, but during events you kind of expect, hey, they're gonna show something new at us, they're gonna give us something new, they're gonna make sure that there's a reason to come back on and play the anniversary event. This one just didn't. I don't know, again, this could all just be me, but this one didn't feel like it was doing enough. It didn't feel like it changed enough, and honestly, I don't. It's really hard to get excited for something, and especially in the era of DVD that we're in right now, where everything feels so poor and broken, and we're pulling every single thing apart. It feels belittling in a way to sit and just try and be excited for something that ends up being the exact same thing. Like, it's just a copy and paste of what we had last year, with a little sprinkle of, hey, look, new skins, oh, and we're gonna get Blighted Springtrap in a couple of days, and hey, Maggie from The Walking Dead is coming out in a couple of days. We couldn't drop it all at once because, you know, that would kill the excitement, which nobody's excited for. So I don't know, I feel, given the year that we're after having with Dead by Daylight, I think this one needed to be big. And the fact that it isn't, I just can't be excited for it. And I want to get those rewards so I don't miss it. But playing it is so difficult. And this is on top of the pallet density stuff, on top of the void as well. I could get entirely into that. Pallets everywhere, and especially in the gameplay you'll see I didn't point it out entirely, or I didn't get too annoyed by it, but you'll see moments where some pallets are connecting and they're just really bad. Where do you get the time to run into the void then, when you're a killer? Especially, like, as a survivor, I don't think it's worth going into the void to get the crystal. You might be able to put a little bit of a percent on the gen that the killer's probably going to pain res or surge, so you wasted your time anyway. So, like, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm supposed to enjoy or be happy about when it comes to this anniversary. I really don't know. Like, one of the other topics which I've already just mentioned, but I really want to get in on it, and I know I'm going to sound like a broken record until behavior says they're going to do something about it, because I feel like not only me, I think since my last video I've watched a bunch of videos, I've seen some talk online. I think the pallet density thing needs to be changed instantly, and I definitely feel like because of the event, the pallet density update has made everything feel so much worse. And I think as well, it also gives you less of a reason to want to interact with the actual event, the whole point of the event, whatever is happening in the void, or using the abilities, and all, even just getting a chance to kick a pumpkin sometimes became stressful to me in some games. Good timing, you played in under the video, but I genuinely felt it, that like I had very little time to even just go, what am I doing? Can I open up a void portal just so I can get in? Or you had no time, and every chase now becomes so time consuming unless you're a top tier killer or you're playing with just the smoothest brain survivors who will just give you hits, or just dead true pallets. I wish I will maybe do it. I might do a video where I play 3 killer games and I do nothing but just count how many pallets I have to eat through all the games. There has been some of the ones I haven't even made in this video have been terrible for how many pallets I have to eat through, and there's so many instances where I feel like I almost had somebody and then they get a pallet on the outskirts of the map as well, where you should be in a dead zone. It's really, really tiring, and I don't know what they were doing or how this update has entirely went the way it is. I feel like when they went with the tunneling and slugging idea and then everybody said no, they forgot to change back half of the stuff that worked around that update. Like, of course we were going to do all our changes to fix tunneling and slugging, and we were going to make sure that, hey, that's all going to stop, but then they built a whole update around that, and when they dragged that out of the update, I feel, especially with the pallet density, they forgot to take out the rest of the the scraps of everything that was a part of that update. It's so tiring. It is. And there's so many, the problem is there's so many people talking about it now, where I can't be like, it's just a me problem, you know, it's clearly just me, I'm having a terrible time. The majority of the community, the majority of streamers, the majority of content creators, the majority of people are all saying the same thing. Killer in the current state on this game is awful. It is awful. And that's not to say you're not going to get games where you get beasted by a blight, or hey, there's a ghoul that's going to destroy a whole team. But my god, I bet most survivors would sit there and say that killer was so sweaty. Because they have to be. They genuinely have to be. One of the things that I've always felt when it comes to events mainly in a whole is you're supposed to have more fun. You're not supposed to take it as serious. You're supposed to be able to get in, relax, chill, try and gather up some blood points, which this event is not built around blood points at all. At all. The new offering, I think the price of it went up in the Blood Web this season, and also you just don't make that much more blood points. During a Halloween event, I feel like there should be a blood rush on the entire time the event is on, because you do not make blood points. You just don't. You just, you might make a little bit extra if you bring the offering, but that's just for yourself. There's no stacking items. There's nothing going on to give you more blood points. You get a little daily login. It is so just bleh. And it's not that I even care about blood points. All I'm doing is leveling up characters to P100 now, because it's not that I'm a new player who's like getting all the perks or trying to figure out who they like to play as. I don't have a need for it, but even then, there's just no blood point extra coming in during a Halloween event for a horror game. They are not giving you an incentive to play at all, and that's really, really annoying. Like, one of the things I do have to add to it is I had a burnout of this event last year, and I know there's probably some people, if this video gets around and people maybe see it or whatever, I'm sure there's people that are going to get in the comments and be like, I really love the Halloween event. I like what they do. I like using the void. I like the fog crystal or the ghost that the killer can use, and I 100% understand that. But I myself just don't. I don't like what they did last year. They didn't change it this year. And on top of it, for the entirety of the last week and a half, I have seen nothing but people complaining on Twitter and Reddit and numerous YouTube videos coming up saying Dead by Daylight's in its worst state, or the new Halloween event kind of sucks, or it's kind of meh. And just in a weird way, seeing so many people just feel the same way, it's sad, but also kind of reassuring, because I'm not alone in it. I know there's numerous people that are out complaining about the same stuff, or they're asking behavior to just please dial it up a little bit, you know, do something. Anything at all to keep us here, keep us playing. The worst thing I can say right now as well is I genuinely, Fortnite have done a better job at doing a Halloween event than the biggest ASIM horror game. The biggest horror game currently there is Dead by Daylight. There's nothing like Dead by Daylight. There's nothing that even slightly compares to this game, and Fortnite are doing a better job. Which I'm not saying, hey, Dead by Daylight for October should be dropping an Art the Clown, Jason Voorhees, the grabber from the Black Phone. They should drop all during Halloween. Just make more of an effort. That's kind of all you can really ask for. It's just please make more of an effort, because it's bad that the horror game that has existed for almost 10 years now is being outshunned by a shooter game in a Halloween event. Like, regardless of even the skins that are coming to Fortnite or whatever, the actual game itself, the actual Battle Royale game itself has done more of an effort for an anniversary than DBD has. That's so sad. Like, it's so sad to sit and say, yeah, you know what, a shooter game has actually probably done more for for Halloween than we have, and I felt the same last year. I felt the same when it came to the Halloween events between Fortnite and DVD, and obviously Fortnite's a much bigger game, but for the love of God, it is a shooter game. It is a shooter game where this is the museum of horror icons, and it's lasted 10 years, and every ASIM game that ever came out died because it couldn't be DVD and all this crap. I don't know where DVD is going to go for the next year to 2 years. By the time we get to the anniversary, which it's looking likely we'll be getting Jason because Fortnite's getting him and COD has got him. And Jason is my boy. Anybody that's in my community will tell you. Anybody that's into my streams, they'll all tell you. I've got him tattooed on my leg. Jason Voorhees is my boy. He has been, he always will be my favorite of them all. When he comes to Dead by Daylight, I'll be very excited. But what I'm not excited about is the state the game could be in by the time we get to that. Which brings me to my next kind of topic, which I really am worried about now, especially that the Halloween event has come out and I see exactly how it's playing. Not to mention, this event hasn't come without its own bugs. I've seen on Twitter, I haven't seen it myself personally in game, but I've seen it on Twitter and Reddit and all sorts of screenshots of things. There was invisible killers. They had to kill switch 2 killers, the twins and the Houndmaster, because there was invisible. The dog and Victor were both invisible while in the void, I think. We just can't do anything without breaking something, and it's constantly another point that I'm going to get to is this year I think DVD have done the most amount of apology posts that I have ever seen a game company do within a year. Like no game company that I've ever had an interaction with, or no game that I've ever played for like a prolonged amount of time, it has been constant. We're sorry for this, we're going to work on this, we're sorry about this is broken, we're kill switching this, we understand that that's broken. I will have to look into it more and maybe make a video on it. There has supposedly been numerous things over the last couple of months that Behavior said that they're going to get to and they just never get around to. Like, one example I can think of right now is there's a Singularity head piece for a skin that they said they were going to be giving us at some point that they just never did. Currently in the Rift that came out that everybody complained about to the point where they had to apologize for it and say some kind of excuse and then tell us, hey, don't worry, the next one in 4 months time, by the way, in January, because we're going to be in a big drought of content, which we'll talk about in a second. Don't worry, hey, the Claudette head will be added. It's just going to be at a later point. It would not surprise me if we don't see whatever that Claudette head is meant to be. Would not surprise me. Which now we will talk about. This Operation Health that we got promised a couple of weeks back by Behavior is slowly but surely starting to slim down in my expectations, because we have got the Crusoe recently, a couple of weeks back. Obviously the Halloween event has come out now and it's basically a copy and paste. If within the next 2 weeks we don't start to see something big being changed up by Behavior, we're heading into November. We have November and December where we're getting no content. We'll probably get a Christmas event, and it'll probably be the same thing with the snowman running around and the same crap that we got before. It's fun, but they're not doing anything inventive. I'm now starting, especially because of the Halloween event, I'm starting to believe that this Operation Health is going to be very, very bad. We're not getting any communication on anything. The small few things they're fixing, they're not fixing everything. They're not doing large leaps. I don't have confidence that we're going to get an Operation Health that actually is going to do a huge overhaul of things. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm starting to. There's a piece of inside my head that slowly just keeps saying they're just going to do small changes. They're going to do little minor fixes. They're going to fix the major problems, but you're still going to have so many issues and whatever. I genuinely mean this, and I know they'd never do it. If they said to everybody, hey, we're going to turn off servers for like all of November, don't worry, we're going to turn the servers off for all of November, but when we come back up in December, we're going to have our shit sorted. There's going to be no more of this spaghetti code shit that everything breaks every time we do a new update. There's 50 things that break. If they told us they could do something like that, I'd be like, alright, hey, don't play DBD for November, we can't play it. Hey, I'm sure that's going to be fine, as long as you guys can promise we're going to come back and we're going to be great. Obviously that's very drastic. What we're realistically going to get is a bunch of massive patches during those 2 months where we don't get anything, and in a way I just don't see them even doing that. I'm hoping that's the best case scenario, is we get a bunch of giant patches, because from now, like second week of October until January, we have 2.5, maybe 3 months where there is no content coming into this game other than maybe a few skins and the Christmas event. Nobody, like, new players are going to have a good time, because new players to the game, they still have so much to learn, so much to find out, so many killers they probably haven't even seen yet, so they won't even notice. But as the people that play the game a lot, we're going to be so bored. There's going to be nothing to get excited for. There's going to be no DLC that's going to drop at some point. There's going to be nothing. Maybe a Chaos Shuffle here, or 2v8 there, but like at this point as well, they're just the same. So I hope that when they do this Operation Health, it is what I'm expecting. It is 2-3 massive patches over the next 3 months that are massive changes. The bug fixes part of every one of their patch notes needs to be huge for the foreseeable, until the next DLC comes out, whichever the DLC will be. And I'm pretty sure the next one's licensed, so I'll be interested in it and I'll be keeping an eye on it and all that. I really hope that over the next couple of months they have so many giant changes to make to this game, because otherwise Anniversary 10, it's going to be rough. We've had a really bad year, another lackluster Halloween event, a really bad run of just everything, between the Walking Dead chapter coming out being bad, the game basically running like crap, the latest Rift being really bad, this Halloween event. It has been a long run of bad for Behavior and Dead by Daylight and all of us who play the game. But I really am hoping. I love this game. I said it in the last video, I'll say it in this one. I really love this game. I love it very much. But it's in such a really poor state lately, and I just want it to get better. I do. I really want Dead by Daylight to get better, and I want Behavior to get creative again. I want them to try things. I want them to get out there and do new game modes, or for a Halloween event, do something completely different. Skins. Don't get me started. Twitter has been full of leaks this past week, and there's so many skins that they should have just brought into the game. So many. Get creative with stuff instead of just pumping out the same skins for the same characters, the same events for the same parts of the year, the same crap. I really hope that Dead by Daylight into year 10, especially if Jason Voorhees, my favorite slasher of all time, actually comes into the game, I really hope that this game can pick itself up. But that's just my opinion. That's my thoughts on everything so far because of the Halloween event. I could have another video down the line where I talk about some other stuff during the event, but I don't see myself playing this event all too often now, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see myself playing the Haunted by Daylight. I'll do my challenges, I'll get my skins, and that's it. If you made it this far into the video, I do appreciate you lot checking them out. I'm trying to post a little bit more. I'm trying to get a little bit more active in the content space again because I'm enjoying it, but I really don't know what to do because I'm not entirely enjoying Dead by Daylight. So, I don't know. I guess all I can say is right now the scariest thing about Dead by Daylight is just how lazy it is. That's my take on it, I guess. Just, yeah. Hey, again, just thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed, hit like, subscribe, maybe come by the Twitch. Hey, the Twitch link is in the description. Come say hi. We stream a lot. So, yeah, that's gonna be me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.